Jay. How are you?
Cold out
How's it
there.
going? Yeah, a little bit. It's going to be cold Saturday.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's going to be
Maybe
cold there.
even rainy.
Yeah. Getting ready. Got the wet ball today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was.
So, we ready?
Ready?
So, you made a decision on the quarterback yet, or
Not
where you
yet.
at on that?
Not yet, and we're not going to announce it anyway because we'd like to, make them have to prepare for both guys. I talked to a couple guys from the OU staff that said that was a challenge last week, having two different game plans for two different QBs, and so we're going to try to keep them guessing this week.
Do you think the run game can work as well with Keaton in there, or do you think you need maybe a little bit more of a mobile quarterback?
That's a really good question. The answer is I don't know for sure because we didn't ask Keaton to do that stuff when he was playing. So I think he can do some of it. I don't know that he can do all of it as well as Jake, but he can definitely do more than what we did before when he was playing earlier, yeah.
Kalani seemed to hint that there's a possibility, or at least he said that maybe you could play two guys.
Yeah, that's possible.
Is that possible?
Yep, everything's possible. We got to win this game, man. Anything it takes.
How about the use? Some people have mentioned maybe the use of a wildcat to take advantage of some of the other guys' skills
Yeah.
that Soljay had. Is that,
We've considered that this year at times, but once we went to Jake, I feel like Jake's a good enough runner that I don't know that there's a guy that we necessarily is that much better of a runner than Jake. So that's why we haven't gone to that yet.
a lot's been made of the play call, the RPO.
Yeah.
Is what Kalani kind of told us, maybe you've heard, is that kind of what you would say too?
Yeah, I mean, on the goal line, it's not really an RPO. The out in the field, it's an RPO. It has a hitch that if the other team's not lined up, you can throw the hitch if because it's a tempo play. We're going as fast as we can, but the play is just our mid-zone scheme that we used as we drove down that field, and so the play was the fastest way we have possible to call that same play. And we were just trying to hand the ball off to Aiden to get the ball across the goal line, and Jake made a mistake. He just got excited and made a mistake that I know he regrets, and we'd all love to have that play back, but we don't get it back.
When you looked at that play again, was Cody ever really open, or was there ever?
No, it's not even really an option on the goal line because so here's the thing: when you're on the goal line, the defense isn't going to back up. So running a hitch, whether they're, it's just not really an option. But that same play out in the field, it is. And Jake I think he just mixed up the two scenarios, and it's a lack of experience play. It's one of those tough lessons you learn. We went through some of those with Zach, all young quarterbacks, and so, we'd all love to have that one back for sure.
Other than the turnovers, which are huge.
Yeah.
Did you feel like Jake made progress? Did you see?
Yeah, I
progress
mean, that's the tough part about this game is he did so many good things, and we did so many good things as an offense. It's the first game this year that really felt like our offense the last 3 years, where the game opened up and we were able to really put the defense in conflict. And so those things were real huge positives we need to build on. The turnovers that's the difference in the game. So we can't deny that and can't hide from it. It's on us. But there were a lot of positives in that game that we need to build on, and I was proud of our team, how hard we competed. One thing I want to point out is after the pick six, Jake chased the guy 100 yards, tried to make a tackle, went back out on the field and drove our team down for a touchdown where he capped it off with a really good run, tied the game 24-24. So that's one of those character-defining moments where you kind of know, all right, we got a team that's still competing, we're still playing, and we're going to show up Saturday and compete.
Is that a moment that gets his teammates to kind of rally around him in a way you felt in the locker room?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, everyone knows he made a critical mistake. He knows it. The whole team knows it. But I think when you compete as hard as he does, none of us are perfect. It's just some of the mistakes that the other guys make aren't as visible as something like that. And I know there's a bunch of guys on this team that feel like, okay, if I'd have done this better, maybe we would have won. And it's just those are things that aren't as obvious to the casual observer.
How did the offense come out health-wise, your offensive guys?
We're a little bit beat up, yeah. We're a little bit beat up. We're kind of, a couple guys are iffy this week. I can't talk about who, but yeah, we're a little bit banged up. It's a physical game.
Last two questions.
Overall, do you think 3 or maybe 4 games if Jake plays this week is enough of a sample size for you to feel confident that he could be the guy next year, or do you think that's not enough time?
4 games would be a pretty good. I'd love to have more, but I think another game would help a little bit. I'd love to have a bowl game too. That's it's a hard question to answer, but I think we're starting to find out that he's a pretty good player. If we can cut back on the turnovers, he can move the team.
I wanted to ask you about LJ Martin, Aiden, just
Yeah.
that dynamic. Aiden obviously had the big game last week.
Yeah.
How does LJ factor in right now with that?
He's still a huge factor. Aiden was just rolling Saturday, so we just kept giving him the ball. It was one of those hot hand things. And even LJ himself, one time, it was his turn to go in, and he said, "Aiden's hot, give him the ball." And that was pretty cool. But LJ did play. The touchdown pass to Isaac Rex, which was, by the way, an RPO. That touchdown pass to Isaac Rex, LJ made a great block. He blocked the defensive end by himself and got the job done and well enough for Jake to get the throw to Isaac. So that was a big play that LJ made that probably nobody noticed. But he's still very much a part of this thing. It's just Aiden was hot, so we just kept giving him the ball.
It seems like his biggest improvement overall, talking about LJ, has been kind of that area where nobody notices. In the
Correct. He was very, very good point. He was a good runner the day he got here, and he could run the ball. We all knew that. He can break tackles. Where he's improving is learning to play without the ball, pass protection, blocking in the run game. Sometimes he has to block for things, for screens and for the quarterback runs, and then as a receiver too, just being more dynamic in how we can use him in the passing game. Yep.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right. Good to see you guys. Yep.
Appreciate it, sir. All right,
How you guys doing?
Another
Good.
week in the Big 12 and another star running back. You guys up for the challenge of stopping Ollie Gordon?
Yeah, he's a great running back, leads the nation. At least they tell me he does. So, he's gone for a ton of yards. He's actually a really good receiver, too. He's had a couple of huge receiving games, a couple really huge running games. 2 games this year where he almost went 300 yards 2 different times. So we got our work cut out for us.
They're pretty run-dominant offenses. How they kind of set things up for their quarterbacks. Does that change or alter anything you think about going into this?
Well, when you have such a talented running back and the O-line is very veteran, tons of starts on that O-line, what it does is that's how they open up their throw game. And the quarterback's very talented as well. So, having to load the box and stop the run, stop Gordon, opens up some of the throw options that they do have. And they do a good job with their RPO game. So we're going to have to be very sound on how we defend them.
Why'd you go with Chaz at linebacker to start the game last week?
Well, Chaz has played that scheme a lot before in the past here. It's something we've done this year already, but we thought it fit him. It fits what he's done before. He's finally healthy. That was another big reason is he's been pretty beat up all year. So that was probably the biggest reason why we had the opportunity to finally play him.
Is Ciale done for the year at this point?
Yeah, he's got a foot injury that will not let him back this year.
You expecting Ethan Slade? I know he got kind of banged up in that game.
So he's day to day right now. He did not practice today. We're hoping he goes tomorrow, but we'll know a lot more on how he feels tomorrow.
But having Alfred back, how big of a boost has that been?
Well, that was huge, and Alfred played really good in that game. Brought a lot to just our physicality, the way he tackled. I thought he played really, really well in that game.
Is this team, what's kind of the mood around this defensive group right now? They bought in to try to get this one last win, or is it a feeling of looking ahead and moving on to the offseason?
No, we want to win for sure. This is a huge game for us. Getting to a bowl game in our first year in the Big 12 is a huge deal. We've been a little up and down on defense. There's games where we played absolutely outstanding. To hold Texas to 350 and Oklahoma to 360. I think we've had our moments this year where we've proven to ourselves that we can be really good. And then that's just scratching the surface, in my opinion, on what we can become. But we have work to do. We got to get better. We don't want this to be our last game, and we're fighting and clawing and digging to make sure that we get one more.
How much of the inconsistencies do you program and things? How long do you think, what realistically the timeline is to build that up?
Well, I think that that's had a lot to do with it. I don't think it's everything, but when injuries mount, backups coming in and playing well is a critical part of success, especially late in the year. And again, this is the first time BYU's seen an opponent like this week in, week out. The physicality of this league, takes its toll. As our depth grows, I promise you we're going to get better and better. As we continue to recruit great players, we'll continue to get better and better. And then the familiarity with the system, they're only going to get better at. So I think all those things make me believe that the future is very bright here.
The coaching fraternity is pretty small out there. Have you ever tried to match wits or ever got to know Mike Gundy at all?
You know what? I haven't. I bumped into him like at conventions or just, here and there, but I wouldn't say that we've ever been close or, had in-depth conversations or anything like that.
What's been made last week about the turnovers on the offensive side of the ball. Have you guys talked a bunch about takeaways, I guess, specifically this week, just because of that
Well,
mistake that you had against Oklahoma?
So, and there's takeaways is a huge part of the game. We all know that. And our defensive players know that if the offense gives it up once, we better get it twice. If we give it up 3 times, we better get it 4. And we put that responsibility on our own shoulders. And I put as much of that game on us, not getting turnovers as maybe giving up turnovers. And so we got to do our part in that game and create a couple more short fields for the offense.
Anything else?
Okay, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yep, have a great day.
There it is. Man of the hour.
Calhoun's up.
Questions for Caleb?
Caleb, what are your emotions heading back to a program you played for previously?
For me, it's going to be, a surreal moment. Just going back out there, where I was. Get to go back out there, see some guys, I used to play on the team with. Now I'm going to be competing against them this Saturday. So I think it'll be a good game for me and, for the whole team, just to see, if we really want it. We go bowl game over. So I'm excited, though.
Have you had any conversations with those guys, your former teammates at all?
Not right now, not yet. Nobody's talking crap right now, so it's all good. All love right now.
Is your family going to be able to be there?
No,
Oh,
yeah.
like last week?
No, they won't be there this game.
What are the big things what's it like playing in Stillwater?
From my experience, I'll say it's a great crowd, good, great environment. Great people. They're gonna talk their trash and try to get you out of the zone and stuff like that. But it's a hostile environment. They're gonna hit the paddles on the sting and all that. But it's a great environment. It's good. They're having fun.
What's kind of the one thing at Boone Pickens Stadium that you go, this is something that you got to make sure to be ready for, I guess, maybe something that they don't do anywhere else, that kind of thing, with the crowd or the fan base?
I wouldn't say they do really anything special though. That we haven't seen. So.
It's not like a cowbell. Or
Nah, once they score, they'll come out with the horse. Forgot his name, but they'll come out with a horse and they'll just ride around, and that's it. But that's pretty. I think that's nice. But.
They've had a really good year there this year. Give them credit for that. What's it like? What's it going to be like for you to take the field? Those boys obviously have a lot to play for. You guys have a lot to play for. What do you think that'll be like for you?
I think it'll be like I said, a great opportunity. They're doing this is either we win and go to a bowl game, or they win and they go to the Big 12 championship. So we both got something to play for. It's going to be a good game, and just got to come out, positive and ready to go out there and play.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you kind of talked about how you feel like moving inside the guard is giving you kind of a new lease on life, I guess, as an offensive lineman. Why is that?
Well, I had got moved to guard mid-season. I feel like it was something different. I never really had played guard, in college. So once I played over there, got some reps at guard, and had my first game against West Virginia there, it was good for me. I felt like I did okay, but it's just something I had to do. So just have to go off and just take whatever they want me, do whatever they want me to do, so I could just be the best version of myself.
What was it like for you this last game to have the run game really explode and you guys really be able to kind of open up some lanes and have some success there? Because it's been a struggle this year.
Right, yeah. That's what we've been looking for, all season. That's what everybody's been looking for, wanting to see. It's finally, we're finally getting somewhere. You know, hopefully we could do that this weekend and could carry on. But I mean, you know, we got Aiden, we got good running backs, so they trust us, and they trust the O-line, and it's gonna open holes for them, and they're just gonna hit it. So just got to keep on doing that, and believing in it.
Still got at least one guaranteed game, but what's your kind of mindset for next season? And you gonna use that other year of eligibility to come back?
Yeah, my mindset is really, you know, finishing off this season. You know, I didn't have the season I wanted. You know, how I went this year, but you know, it's, everything's just God's time, leaving it up to Him, and you know, just come back stronger and you know, better. That's all.
So you want to come back then for another year?
Yes, sir.
BYU?
Yeah.
Did you rotate with Waylon? Like, how many snaps did you get against Oklahoma?
Oh, I didn't get in the Oklahoma game.
Oh, you didn't get in?
No.
Okay.
Hop on the plane.
How was the senior day experience though, like having walked and everything?
Yeah, it was nice. I liked it. You know, just seeing everybody, teammates. You know, guys that I know I'm not gonna see again. That didn't have any more years left. You know, it was a great time. You know, just being with them on the field, giving it their all. You know, I respect them, and it was just nice. You know, great atmosphere. It was nice.
How was it to watch the film, and what do you see from this Oklahoma State defense? What do you guys have to be ready for?
I'll say, you know, so far we just took a little brief look at it. You know, right now it's key guy on their team right now is number 30, Colin Oliver. You know, he's a great player. You know, he got a lot of accolades. You know, in the Big 12, so he's pretty like the key player right now on their defense line. Great edge rusher. You know, just have to be ready for him, and just keep, you know, prepping the right way for the you know, Oklahoma State.
Are there any similarities at all between Kalani and Coach Mike Gundy, or is it just two different?
Yeah, it's two different coaches. I mean, but that's just what it is. Haven't much to say really.
What was it like being coached by Gundy though?
He was a great coach. He was a great head coach. You know, just it is what it was. I don't know.
You think you'll cross paths with him and try to
I don't know.
talk to him at all on
Hey,
Saturday?
never know. Just questionable right there. I don't know. We'll see.
Anything else?
I'll try. All right. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, Caleb. Appreciate it.
Thank